Alright, what's up YouTube? The Mummy Dust here. So today we are going to be going over my Nightmare Cup experience. So I decided to run the team Hypno, Poliwrath, which was non-legacy bubble move. The Hypno was legacy with Shadow Ball and Confusion and Focus Blast. Xatu with Air Slash, Ominous Wind, and Aerial Ace. Drapion with Infestation, Aqua Tail, and Crunch. Toxicroak with Mud Bomb and Sludge Bomb with Counter, and Spiritomb with Sucker Punch, Ominous Wind, and Shadow Ball. I did not use Spiritomb or Poliwrath. They were kind of just there for, some of the mind games that you can play with your team. I did try them both out. I ended up really liking Drapion, Toxicroak, and Hypno lineup as a 3. And that's kind of something I wanted to talk about a little bit with these cups is you don't have to use all 6 Pokemon. You also don't have to use the best things. You just have to use what you're best with. So some people are really good at baiting with Spiritomb. I myself liked baiting with Drapion. So that was something that I really wanted to kind of push for this video, and you'll see what I mean. I pretty much exclusively used Toxicroak, Drapion, and Hypno. I felt like Hypno with Shadow Ball was very overpowered in this cup, just because its Confusion would literally destroy their fighting types, its Shadow Ball could hit their psychic types, and it was so bulky that it could kind of absorb some of that. I like Drapion because Drapion could take out the dark types by itself, take out the psychic types, and hold up against fighting, like Toxicroak at least a little bit. Could get off a couple Aqua Tails, so the pressure with that was also amazing as well. I would also like to state that I was able to do this tournament against only verified level 40 players, which just means that everybody was level 40, and then they also require some additional things as well in order to get into the group, like a certain amount of catches. I'm not sure anymore. I got in a while back, so things have changed since then, but it was against a very good group of competition. So we're going to be going into the video shortly. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you like and subscribe. It would help me out a lot as I do all of these cups, and I do a lot of practice videos. If you want to battle me, you can also throw your friend code down below. I do have room to add people. So this first match against Foz, I did notice his team was weak against Xatu, so I decided to use Xatu instead of Hypno. So we're going to lead with Toxicroak because I felt like he was going to lead with one of those dark types. He leads with Claydol, which is a really bad situation for me, so I immediately switch into my Drapion, and now I know that Claydol has Earth Power, which was recently released before this video came out. So I know I have to watch out for that Earth Power. I do go for an Aqua Tail, which I know is super effective against Claydol, and he does shield that. So I am going to shield this Earth Power. I just want my Drapion to be able to take out this Claydol because I need my other 2 Pokemon very much. So we're going to go ahead and bait again with an Aqua Tail. So the reason I like Infestation so much is because you get these moves really fast. We actually do hit the Aqua Tail, so this time I will be able to kill him with an Aqua Tail, so that's why I invest both shields into Drapion. I'm not sure what Earth Power would have done. This is the only time I faced Claydol. I do think I faced Blaziken, but it ended up being irrelevant. I was going to try and kill him with fast moves there, but I did notice that he was going to be able to get off another Earth Power, so I do use an Aqua Tail. And now I have a charge move ready for whatever comes in, and plenty of health as well, so I can burn his final shield or do some decent damage. He brings in Drapion, so I'm going to switch. I meant to switch to Toxicroak, but Drapion's okay because, Xatu is okay because this Drapion doesn't know a dark or bug move. He's actually using Poison Jab, which is kind of different for me, so we're going to go for that final shield with Aerial Ace, see if we can't get him to burn it. He does burn that final shield, so we should be able to get to another. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so I don't know if he had double moves, but he really should have went for a crunch there because I am going to be able to get another move off on him here. You can see I get that Aerial Ace, and it should be able to take out the Drapion. So he should have used Crunch there. I probably would have lost this battle if he did. And then he has Gallade. I have Drapion still with a Crunch ready to go to take out that. So we're going to take game 1. And I think it does take another Aqua Tail, but you can see Drapion just, he gets energy so fast with that infestation. That's why I really liked him. He was very versatile. Same with Hypno. You'll see in some other videos. So in game 2, once we get to that, first battle of the day for me actually, so I did get some Stardust from it. Up to, what is that, 306 wins. So in game 2, we're just going to go ahead and go with the same lineup but a different order. So we're going to lead with Drapion and then Toxicroak and Xatu, because I felt like his team was very weak to Xatu. He had Shiftry, which I thought he was probably going to use, and Gallade as well. The only thing that might give Xatu some trouble is his Skunk Tank, especially since his Drapion does not know Bite or Infestation. So here we go with the Drapion mirror match. Like I said, his Drapion does know Poison Jab, mine knows Infestation, so I do have the advantage there. I am going to get to my charge moves a little bit faster. I did build up a little bit of energy there, and I'm going to hit him with an Aqua Tail, so I do have like a turn ahead. So we're just going to go ahead and fight out this mirror match for a little bit, and then switch into Toxicroak to go ahead and take that Aqua Tail, which is not going to do anything to Toxicroak, and then we're going to go ahead and take this guy out with fast moves here. Really should have used the Mud Bomb. I could have saved the shield here, because more than likely he's going to bring in his Psychic type next. And he does bring in Claydol, so we're just going to try and hit a couple Mud Bombs on it before Toxicroak goes down. So see, if I would have used my Mud Bomb earlier, I would have saved the shield here. But we're still in a good situation. We do have Drapion to take out Claydol, so we're going to go ahead and wait the switch clock out, bring in Drapion, and then we're going to go for a crunch this time. Especially since the first match I used Aqua Tail, so he's probably thinking it's going to be an Aqua Tail, so he doesn't shield it. Which is something that you kind of want to think about as well when you're doing these cups, is your opponent is going to remember what you did the match before. So if you used Aqua Tails the match before, he is probably going to think that you're going to use Aqua Tail again, so he might not shield it. So that's some things to think about. And his last Pokemon is Xatu, so he was running double Psychic types. And we are going to get this Ominous Wind off and be able to take out the Xatu. Not until he gets a charge move off. His own Ominous Wind. But we have plenty of health on Drapion and a charge move ready to go. I could have also used Crunch if the Xatu ended up having more health. So on to the next battle. Thanks Foz242 for that battle. Hopefully I will battle you some more in the future since we are in the group together. Next battle is against Bassoon Wrath's team, and Bassoon Wrath team's kind of like a standard team. I was a little bit worried about Alolan Muck because I didn't really have the hardest counter against it. I felt like Drapion or Toxicroak could handle it, so I'm going to send out Toxicroak first. I do catch the Drapion lead with Toxicroak, which is great for me because it will force the switch. So here comes the switch, and then I'm ready to switch right away into my Dark type because I know that she's going to be switching into a Psychic type. And we're going to go ahead and build up some energy here. Go for an Aqua Tail to try and burn a shield. And we do get a shield. And then we're going to be able to get to this other crunch right away. And we're going to go ahead and use this crunch. And we're either going to burn this other shield or take out the Hypno. And she decides to to shield that one. This is going to be a Shadow Ball. So I am going to shield this. Oh, actually, Focus Blast. So that would have taken me out. And I am going to be able to get to Crunch here to finish off Hypno. So we are in a very good position. Drapion has plenty of health. we have 1 shield, she has 0 shields, and we still have 3 Pokemon left. So she brings out Toxicroak. I'm going to try and get this Aqua Tail off, and I do before Drapion faints. But now I have Hypno. So you're going to see where Hypno absolutely just shines. So we're going to be able to bring in Hypno. Nothing that Toxicroak does is going to hurt Hypno. Just going to be able to wear this thing down, build up some energy for whatever else comes in, and more than likely going to be able to one-shot it either with a Shadow Ball or a Focus Blast. So it is Drapion, so we are going to go for Focus Blast. And I think I was a little greedy and didn't get it. So fortunately we had Toxicroak in the back and a shield saved up. So that was a mistake on my end. Definitely should have used Shadow Ball there. But you live and you learn. So the next battle is always the most important. So just try and remember some of the mistakes that you made. And move forward and learn from them. Whether you win or lose, usually a battle is you're going to come away with something from each battle. So kind of did some mind games, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and lead with Hypno this time, because she'll probably think I'm going to switch to a Drapion lead, and she leads with Toxicroak. Hypno just does a ton of damage, forces the switch again, able to switch into Toxicroak to just go ahead and take down this Drapion. Notice that it has Crunch, so it's not going to get to its charge moves as fast as normal. This Aqua Tail isn't going to do very much to Toxicroak, and Toxicroak is just meant to take out the Dark type. Unless people end up running double Dark strategies. That's why I liked Drapion, because Drapion could take out, say, an Umbreon or possibly an Alolan Raticate, just depending on the situation. Plus, Toxicroak should at least have a charge move ready to go on whichever Pokemon comes in. So we have no health left. We're going to see if we can get to this Mud Bomb, and we cannot. But here we go again with Hypno just being able to absolutely dominate Toxicroak and just be so bulky. So this time, we're going to be ready to go. Same situation. We got the 0 shields. Her Hypno versus my Hypno. And this is obviously one I'm going to win. I have a shield advantage. I have an energy advantage. So this is GG's at this point. Thank you, Bassoon Wrath, for the battles. And you are one of the moderators of the group, so I definitely appreciate all the work that you do to make sure that these kind of tournaments are able to happen. So big shout out to you. If you're watching the video, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Anyone else, it would greatly appreciate it. Let's see if we can get to 10 likes on this video. That would be awesome. If you want to check out my Nightmare Cup battle, I also went undefeated in my Nightmare Cup, so that's on my page as well. So again, Circulace's team has a lot of weaknesses to Xatu as well. I was thinking about possibly leading Xatu, but also at the same time I was afraid that's exactly what he wanted me to do. So I didn't choose to lead with Xatu, so we're just going to wait here while they pick their team. I should have cropped this out a little bit, so I apologize about that. But I was kind of worried about Blaziken because I had not faced off against that. But, again, I cannot emphasize enough that the way that I recommend doing these videos is to get a team, like a team of 3 that you are very comfortable with, and just figure out how to run that. So in the Nightmare Cup, I kind of did a similar thing with Blaziken, where I would use Blaziken, Lucario, and Altaria, or in this one, Drapion, Toxicroak, and Hypno. So figured he might lead Spiritomb, leads Toxicroak. I'm in a bad situation here. I am going to go ahead and build up a little bit of energy and switch into my Xatu. And she switches out into Umbreon. So this is not a good situation for me. So I'm just going to try and get some Aerial Aces off to try and burn those shields. And then I am going to be able to switch into Toxicroak to take it out. So we're just going to try and burn both of these shields with Aerial Aces. So move coming in, I decide not to shield it. I was close to an aerial ace, but I figured that it wasn't really going to be worth it. So Toxicroak coming in. Should have waited out the switch clock there. New mistake on me. But I am going to shield here so that I can save some energy. I figured it was a last resort. It was, so I'm going to be able to have some moves ready to go for whatever's coming in next. Either a Mud Bomb or a Sludge Bomb, depending on what it is. So Xatu it is, so Sludge Bomb it is. And we'll see if we either burn the shield or do a ton of damage. Burn the shield, switch to Drapion, and we are going to be able to take this out. Actually switches into Toxicroak, and we are going to go ahead and shield here. We should be able to get to 2 Aqua Tails to finish this thing off. So here's the first Aqua Tail. And here is the second one. This should pretty much take it out, and then I'm going to have Toxicroak and Xatu. I believe this was a very, very close match. Actually, might have lost this one, I think, because of charge move priority. Yep, actually, I did lose this because of charge move priority. So, watch, I'm going to go ahead and have this, and I'm going to click the Sludge Bomb for the Xatu coming in, but I do not get it. I don't know if Sludge Bomb would have killed Xatu with that much health, but I was pretty upset when it happened. Charge move priority is kind of a pain in the butt. Hopefully they figure something else out, so I do lose the first match against Herkalicious. But we are going to go ahead and think about the team again and change up this composition a little bit. So, like I said, I never used Poliwrath or Spiritomb. I was just really comfortable. I felt really, really good about Toxicroak and Hypno and Drapion. So, we're going to go ahead and see if they wanted to do rematch or not. If they did want to do rematch. Which I'm completely okay with, because I really don't. I know that charge move priority can be a big deal, but you know, if it's not something you focus on and you try and win regardless, it makes you a little bit of a better player. But here we go again. And I thought for sure I was going to lose this match because, of course, we ended up with the bad lead again. So we're going to try and switch. Doesn't let us switch. Doesn't let me switch. I actually thought about reporting this, but I did end up winning the battle, so it didn't matter. So try and switch. Now we have a ton of built-up energy. Hypno's going to come in, going to smack down this Toxicroak, and in comes Umbreon. So this is what I'm talking about. So here I do decide to try and bait with Shadow Ball. And then I'm going to use Shadow Ball again. So in the third match, you'll see I thought that maybe I made my opponent think that I only had Shadow Ball on my Hypno. So I go for a Focus Blast, and it ended up not working, but it's something that, you know, you can consider because it could possibly work. I could have also went for the Focus Blast here, but I did think I was going to die, so I go for Shadow Ball just to try and get as much damage in as I can. And then I almost make it to a third Shadow Ball, so, you know, I could have done a little bit better there, done a Focus Blast. We're going to wait the switch clock out here, and then we're going to bring in our Toxicroak to beat down Umbreon. So once again, a bunch of built up energy. This is a last resort. I felt completely okay with it because I figured I was going to have a charge move for the next Pokemon, whatever came in. So down goes Umbreon, and then I'm going to switch right away. I have Crunch ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and try and hit Crunch on this Xatu. And a little bit of a lag here. And does not shield the Crunch. So we are in a great position now strictly because of that. So we're just going to go ahead and build up some energy and wait and see what comes in. Hit it with an Aqua Tail, it is Toxicroak, and up comes this shield, and then we're going to have another Aqua Tail ready to go, and a shield to save us from this Mud Bomb. So we are able to pull off the Game 2 victory. We just need to win one more for the best 2 out of 3. And down goes Toxicroak. Alright, so now I'm feeling pretty nervous. This is where I kind of get shaky, make mistakes, that kind of thing. I try not to, but I'm still kind of new to this. So I'm going to lead with Toxicroak, and Toxicroak versus Toxicroak. This pretty much comes down to charge move priority. I have not practiced breaking charge move priority yet, so I'm just going to see who wins. And my opponent does win charge move priority in this situation. So what I'm going to do is I am going to throw my Mud Bomb. And realistically here, I should have tried to do an extra charge move, but I didn't know who had priority. Now that I do know that I don't have priority, I'm going to go ahead and build up and switch right before the Mud Bomb comes in, switch to Hypno so that I can eat this Mud Bomb, pretty much free shield, and take down this Toxicroak, or build up a little bit of energy. So Toxicroak is still alive. Umbreon comes in, and this is what I'm talking about. So I made my opponent think that I only had Shadow Ball. Really could have just let this go, but I wanted to try and get this Focus Blast in. So now I'm going to try and go for Focus Blast, and it does not work. So smart move on my opponent's part, and we're not able to get to another charge move, but right here is super important. Umbreon does use the charge move, uses up its energy to take out my Toxicroak, or my Hypno. So we're going to wait out the switch clock just a little bit here, because I want to keep them trapped in, and bring in my Toxicroak to take out Umbreon. Mud Bomb away. Alright, so we're just going to keep working on this, and then I don't know why I switched there, but I think I just wanted to save Toxicroak, but it actually, from this, because I didn't have any shields left, so I wanted Drapion to take the last resort instead of Toxicroak, so I still had Toxicroak in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and farm up some energy here on Umbreon, and then throw an Aqua Tail. And then he has Toxicroak left, so I do have an Aqua Tail ready to go for that. So there that one is, and I did want to, I threw a couple infestations there to try and build up to my next charge move. So hopefully we can get this before we go. Crunch on Xatu before Xatu kills us, and this is going to be so close. Crunch does not kill Xatu. Drapion dies before it goes down, and I'm just tapping the screen as fast as I can, hoping that Xatu dies. Toxicroak takes it out with counters. That was one of the closest match I've ever been in, not like HP wise, but just because I knew that that Xatu was going to be able to throw a charge move, and I was just hoping that I could just kill it before it clicked in. So here we go in the final battle. We did have some lag issues on the first one, so this is actually like a rematch of that first battle. I was lagging so bad that his Toxicroak got 2 Mud Bombs off before I could even get one. So you want to make sure that you're also in an area where like you either have a good Wi-Fi signal or like your cellular data is good. You don't want to try and do a battle when you have like no cellular data or anything like that. So we start off the first battle with Drapion versus Muck. This is something I felt very confident in. I know it's kind of a close battle. A lot of people like Alolan Muck over Drapion. I felt like Drapion could win this battle. So we're not going to shield here. I believe this is an Acid Spray, which isn't really going to do anything to Drapion besides lower its defense, which is okay. As long as I can go ahead and take this thing out, we're going to be good. And I did burn a shield. We're going to throw another Aqua Tail. And you just want to throw Aqua Tails because Alolan Muck has so many resistances. It's really only weak to ground. So something like Toxicroak, something like Claydol is pretty good against it. And he actually decides to switch out into his Toxicroak. So my Drapion is going to be able to get off an Aqua Tail. And since you can kind of like switch like during charge move animation, I didn't take any damage. It's gonna bring in my Xatu and farm up this Toxicroak. So now I'm ready to go with an Aerial Ace or an Ominous Wind. A Alolan Muck comes in. It's another Acid Spray. I'm completely fine with that. Actually, I shield. I'm sorry. But we're going to go ahead and throw an Ominous Wind because we're going to try and burn that shield. And we do get the boost. So at this point, you could kind of tell my opponent pretty much seemed like he was defeated because of that. So now we have the boost. I'm going to throw another Ominous Wind. It is a Xatu. Didn't even get that fully charged, and it still does a ton of damage. And we're going to be able to take it out because of the boost. So that was very fortunate there. I still probably would have won because I had Toxicroak in the back. Not that it's really going to do too much against Xatu, but I would have been able to do some switch shenanigans, stuff like that. So here we go for the final battle of the final round. So I kind of just spoiled it there, but since this is game 2. But we lead Toxicroak versus Xatu. This is not very good. I am a farmable matchup, so I am going to just throw a few punches, get the heck out of there for Drapion, and I'm going to farm up some energy here. He switches out, just keep farming energy. I'm going to be able to throw like 3 Aqua Tails on this Toxicroak before I go down. So there we get one. Pretty much have another one ready to go immediately. And then we are going to be able to get to a third before Toxicroak takes us down as long as we burn a shield. So we are going to go ahead and burn a shield here so that we can get to that other Aqua Tail and try and take out Toxicroak in kind of a negative matchup. So there we go. And we get that third Aqua Tail. And then he's kind of forced to throw his Mud Bomb here. Well, I don't think he didn't have to. But since he did, it's going to give me a really good advantage. Bring in Xatu, farm it up a little bit. Wait out the switch clock just a little bit. You can see there. I can tell when I'm good. Xatu's coming in. And then he brings in his Shiftery, which I kind of figured that was going to happen. He had Shiftery on his team. I didn't think it was just there for looks. I also thought Xatu would be able to handle Murkrow as well in that case. So Xatu having a positive matchup against Toxicroak, Shiftery, and Murkrow. And do go ahead and block this just to save some health. Basically just to use that shield. I'm going to go ahead and Ominous Wind his Xatu. And pretty much takes it all the way down. And I get the boost again. It doesn't really matter because he's just going to take me out. But that was some extreme luck there, getting it 2 times in a row. But we have Toxicroak, kind of a similar situation from last time, but this time we actually used Toxicroak to take out Xatu. So we are able to take the victory in my first and only Nightmare Cup. I am going to be working on some Rainbow Cup content here shortly. It's kind of, I feel like it's, I don't know what to think about Rainbow Cup yet. Let me know what you guys think about Rainbow Cup in the comments below. I'd also like to give a shout out to an Instagram account. I will go ahead and link it in the description below. Sadie Poo made this Nightmare Cup picture that I'm using here, and I'm going to be using it for the thumbnail. It's just a really great picture. I like Toxicroak. I was going to use Umbreon, but I didn't have like a last resort one other than trying to trade for a shiny, and that was that person's only one, so I didn't feel like it was fair to take that from them. But again, my team: Hypno, Poliwrath, Xatu, Drapion, Toxicroak, Spiritomb. Just didn't really ever fall in love with Spiritomb. And Poliwrath I just brought kind of because I thought it might be able to handle Blaziken well, in that fighting matchup. But Toxicroak really kind of the best fighting type in this cup. and Drapion I felt like was the best, not necessarily the best, but the most versatile, and I felt like I was the best for it. So please make sure you guys like and subscribe. Like I said, I will be bringing some Rainbow Cup content here shortly, so stay tuned for more videos, and thank you very much.